Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage for the third season of the NASCAR Class C Maconi Fixed Series. This evening, we're excited to bring you top split action for the weekly straight the field race for the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway and Concord, North Carolina. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing, including the top split for this series, the Road to Pro Ladder, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name's Justin Prince. Lots of the booth once again tonight is Arkham Art Series racer Braden Laster. Dylan Rempel is our producer for tonight. Racing cameras provided by the great Dougie Beer. Braden, tonight we're at a staple to NASCAR. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the heart of NASCAR's community and one of the most popular for drivers and fans alike, especially in this series. With that in mind, what are the expectations here from Charlotte?
Not just a staple in NASCAR, but a staple in iRacing. Look at the pickup truck or the C Fast truck, and look at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is one of the beginning series in the Rookie Pickup Cup series that a lot of drivers actually get their iRacing starts in. So now, we're not quite a pickup cup, we're a little bit more advanced truck, a little bit more developed track, and it's a bit of a throwback for a lot of these guys. Like I mentioned, this is where a lot of them got their starts, and we got a quick one on the docket, 40 laps for these drivers, and we're going to see a lot of high-speed cornering, and drivers probably pushing it to the limit.
And that limit is going to extremely be tested for some of the drivers in the course of tonight's festivities. We'll talk about that more in just a little bit. As well, keep in mind, the championship coming down to the wire. Drop weeks already in effect for many of the standings. Jonathan Evans coming into this week is the points leader, keep in mind, over Jacob Snyder, Perrin Huggins, Dakota Lawn, and Justin Patel. However, that point difference could get very tight depending on how things go here tonight. It's been an interesting year when it comes to the battle for the championship. And with these temperatures that we're about to see for the racetrack, it could be a somewhat slick one under the lights.
We'll talk about that points battle coming in. Only one race left after this one, and this isn't just a one race in a week. These drivers have multiple chances to get a better run, and then they take their worst finishes throughout the whole season, and they drop those. And to actually talk about the points battle developing, we talked about Jacob Schneider. I'm sorry, not Schneider, but Jonathan Evans and Jacob Schneider though being 1-2, and Dakota Long being down there in fourth. Apparent Huggins separating them. In the past hour alone, Dakota Long had gone from fourth to actually leapfrog those drivers to come into the night's race as their points leader. So it can all change, just one bad race and one good race here and there.
The point totals right now, 1918, as in 1,918, and the other for Jacob Snyder, 1869, so 1,869 to work with. Those are your numbers to think about for this evening. But tonight's S.O.F. also, with it being Charlotte, in the 4,000 range again here this season. Usually, we've seen some intense racing when it's been in that ballpark. And it's also brought out some new racers here in this time slot, like Michael Sensi. He's one of the first times we've seen him this season. Justin Duran, same you can say for him. He's Division II this season, but in the league scene has been pretty solid. You also throw in a couple other drivers to keep an eye on for today, like Shackle Ray returning from the Super Speedway side, the kart racer and Chase Stewart, as well as many others. This, in our words, could be an intense one, knowing it's also qualifying week once again, the last week of round one. A lot of drivers are going to have a lot of practice put in for tomorrow night especially, and some looking to have some fun before they go all out for the points tomorrow for the qualifying series.
Oh, 100%. This track is very unique when you look at intermediates. It's one of the more tighter tracks we go to, and there's not a lot of escape room. This is a track I've had the luxury of actually racing that in real life in the Arkham Menard series and spinning out in real life, unfortunately. I talk about being tight and not having any escape room. You get loose, you get one bump, you burn that right rear off one lap too early, and you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt and a world of pain if you don't get yourself out of that situation. And you got a couple tire sets if you need it, 2 sets in the pits tonight. But I think we're going to see a lot of guys, playing the tire game, try and keep their tires calm, cool, and collected, and not burning that right rear off.
Reminder that tonight's action brought to you in part by iRacing. Right on its trained tool by countless professional drivers, iRacing is unrivaled as a racing simulator because its creators have managed to capture every last car and track detail and recreate them in a package that perfectly encapsulates the feeling of being behind a wheel of a real race car and pushing its mechanical limits on courses designed to test each driver's skill sets, and the industry agrees. iRacing.com is the place to visit to sign up and become a member today. Qualifying just about complete for today here from Charlotte. It should be a fun time for these drivers here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's find out how qualifying went as drivers have the clock now reach zero for the session. The time difference between the top of the board and the bottom of the board, well, for some they prefer to go in the back 2 seconds back. For those in terms of fast laps, 3/10 between the top 17. Aaron Huggins starts on the pole by 5/1000ths over the points leader, Jonathan Evans. Dakota Long will start third alongside Justin Durand. Expect him to be a contender up towards the front. Cody Johnson he'll start in the top 5. Sean Anderson starts off in the 6th spot. Stewart and Jacob Prince will start off in 8th. Cody Kelleher in 9th, and Phil Sorensky starts off 10th.
Our very own Jeffrey Maconi rolling off in row number 6 and 11. There, Curtis Bishop is outside in 12th. Justin Lowry, I believe, a newcomer tonight. Maybe we haven't seen him too often this season in 13th. Michael Cinzia is outside in 14th. Tobin Keefe in 15th. Rodrigo Dominguez, we've seen him quite a bit the last couple races. Actually ties with Barrett Bishop for 16th and 17th. 30.065 for those two. Then you got Jeffrey Martin, Shaquille Ray, and Garrett Picker, last driver to take a time. Cole Pocken, Benjamin Topper, Miles Morrison, Adrian Harney rolling off outside your top 20, not taking time tonight.
That's what talked fun about the running over here tonight. 24 entries. Once again, a full grid. S.O.F for this evening. An average iRating of 4,251. So the first question on the mind before we get things rolling here from North Carolina is quite simple. What are your keys to victory?
I think managing our right rear is a huge key here, especially at SAR, that you don't really have any off throttle time. If you do, it's because you're checking up, not trying to run over the guy in front of you. Now, you're going on, you obviously coast a little bit in the corner. You can't flat floor here like Speedway, but managing your tires is going to be key.
Who do you think is going to get the job done tonight to get the win, though?
I think I gotta go with Perrin Huggins, a man starting from P1. Not just because he's starting from P1, but he's ran this time slot 5 times. I'm sorry, this is his 5th time, so 4 times previously. The 2 times he's set pole, he's won those races. The 2 times he's not started on pole, he's lost those races. So typically, if he starts on pole, he wins. So I gotta go with Perrin Huggins.
The rest of the drivers get themselves going before they get underway for tonight. Some drivers taking a couple extra seconds to get rolling as well. We'll see how tonight plays out. 40 laps on the distance here tonight to talk about your race details once again, and your race analysis brought to you by Maconi Setup Shop. No fast repairs, 2 qualifying laps we just see. And remember, just the 2 tire sets available in the pit lane for tonight's race. You need to get the job done fast, so a full fuel run, if it stays green, most cases you can make it up to 49 laps here at Charlotte. So don't expect pit stops for fuel, just if there's cautions. Your quick thoughts before we get green here at Charlotte. It should be a fun one.
Don't spin the guy out in front of you and don't get run over from behind. As simple as that.
Can the drivers keep it simple? Or will it be very complicated to see what happens up front? We're about to find out. Glad to have you with us here at Maconi Entertainment and iRacing social media platforms for tonight's coverage of the Maconi Fixed Series. Huggins in control of the field. Green flag waves up at the stand. We're underway from America's home for racing. Huggins able to lead things off turn 4. Dakota Long already to 2nd. Johnson already charging for the 3rd spot. Inside line, the happy line, to say the least, in the early going you expected today.
Yeah, your top 3 in points currently running 1, 2, and 4 right now. Cody Johnson separating them in that 3rd spot. Running right there on that white line in the corner.
Hold on, trouble back. Back of the field, yeah, that's Michael Sensi. Welcome to the field and welcome to the back. That's one of the drivers who runs in Great Lakes competition who got loose into the wall. We stay green. That's our first meatball flag already as the top 2 try and break away. Here's the replay.
I've talked about having to take care of the right rears, that kind of cyan-ish teal looking turquoise truck there in the middle of the pack running the high line. Just kind of gets some dirty air and up in the wall. Actually hits the wall there and then gets loose in the corner, loses that rear grip right here. And Jonathan Evans, trouble for your championship contender, gets dumped.
We have a lot to talk about because during the replay, not only did 4th place get dumped in Jonathan Evans with contact into turn 1 and 2, we also had the race leaders make contact to give Dakota Long the point, and Huggins has already dropped to 3rd from it. 2 different incidents in the span of about half a lap have seen Long take the lead, and one of your points contenders with a meatball flag. This is why.
There's Evans, contact from behind, gets shoved up in the wall, hard damage for him in the wall, meatball flag like you mentioned, then contact there for the lead. That's Parent Huggins in the 3, Dakota Long in the 5, and that's allowed Dakota Long to pull away to almost a half-second advantage over Cody Johnson.
Here's Jeff Maconi. He's seen some of the stack-ups. A lot of drivers are getting very loose right now, especially off of turn 2 noticing. This is not usual for a track like this, but it is a hotter track. It is a different feel. It is a different set in theory. Every time you come here, it looks like the balance is swinging loose rather than tight this time.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get any better either. Track's only 83 degrees, but these trucks typically build loose, especially when you get a little bit of clean air on that rear spoiler. It's kind of opposite of what you would think, but you get tight in the dirty air. But you get that clean air, there's not a whole lot of rear grip though all around. So this is going to be a handful of
Bishop just had someone send it. Jacob Prince, and they crash hard. Lowry into the wall, collecting the 19. Caution flag is out for the first time. And everybody's having fun in terms of tempers. More drivers slow out of 4.
Jacob Prince, is that your brother, JP?
No, I'm so only child. But that was a major stack up for the field.
That's going to take out a lot of guys that were running right outside the top 10. So a lot of fierce competitors. Trouble. It actually happened right behind Jeff Maconi C17. That's Barrett Bishop. Contact from behind. That was Jacob Prince, not your brother. And here comes the rest of the field behind him. He's kind of stacking up into it. Now Justin Lowry hard in the wall. Philip Zazinski and a lot of others involved.
Yeah, this is, for some, if you like emotions, fun. If you like destroy trucks, not so much fun. Already, at least 4 drivers have had mandatory repairs this race. Here's a look.
Oh, he's nowhere to go. That's Adrian Harney. Checks up. That's a good job avoiding the inside wall, so not too bad. I was honestly waiting for him to just get plowed into from behind there. And this helps out big time. Though Jonathan Evans saw him get dumped there and in the wall. Had that meatball flag, came down and got back out on track. Only 1 lap down, and here comes the entire field. Looks like most of them are taking tires.
Not a surprise with the 2 sets available. Looks like most drivers except for Keith Prince and a couple others ended up ducking down here. You also had Dominguez also stay out on the racetrack. First out of the pit lane this time, Dakota Long, followed by Johnson, Huggins, Durand, Stewart, who has damage, rounding out that top running group. So the fireworks have come out pretty early in this one. Here's another look.
I was right there in that battle for 10th to Jeffrey Maconi. So about 11th, 12th spot. And I mean, it just happened so fast. Like I said, it's not super speedway racing. It's not pack racing, but with as little off-throttle time as you have, this is so tight-knit together. And that was the 18 of Jacob Prince dumping the 17 of, I'm not sure who that actually is. Barrett Bishop, I'm sorry. Jacob Prince, though, has stayed out after causing the caution. He has stayed out, and it will be restarting inside the top 5 if he doesn't pit this time around.
Interesting call. Those on fresh tires will start 4th for the restart. I'll come up around lap 10. Real quickly, let's talk about what happened at Coca-Cola iRacing Series, because it's pretty relevant. especially with how 2024's been in the next-gen car in the Cup Series. Closest finish in the history of the series happening this past Tuesday. 0.001 seconds to decide it. Garrett Lowe beating Jimmy Mullis and a bumping and baiting finish in the daytime to win the race for career win number 5 in the first for BS competition. It's been an exciting year for the Coke Series. A photo finish decided it at the stripe this time.
Yeah. Look at the pro level scene of iRacing. You got some of the best going at it, and they've had a ton of great finishes. We have a ton of great finishes in Road to Pro with Logan Clamp being so close. Finally got that win last time out. And, coming here tomorrow night, I'm sure we're going to have another great Road to Pro show. Round 1, some of those guys look to punch their way into round 2. And tonight, though, these guys, I think, are more focused on survival. And you'd think this is just a one-off race, and they haven't been racing against each other for 12 weeks now.
Yeah, that series is having an exciting year to say the very least, especially since you have multiple different drivers that look solid for the postseason already with Steven Wilson with 2 wins, but you also throw in the fact that Zelensky, Lowe, Ray, Duvall, all top 20 runners, all in so far with wins for the playoff picture at least. That's going to be a fun time to say the very least to keep things going in the Coke Series. But to talk about the truck side right now, with this race in hand, Evans is a part of the wave around, still a lap down. Tobin Keith, for the first time, the Manitoba karting racer, will be in control for the restart here. Big test for the 15 here.
That big moment here on the spotlight. Ron off with Jacob Prince. They're outside, so damage trucks are outside, and Rodrigo Dominguez qualified deep in the field, right behind him, and Dakota Long, who was their leader before the shenanigans ensued with the fresh tires to Ron off there in 4th. So we got fresh rubber, not right behind you, but breathing down your neck. It's definitely a white knuckle grip on the steering wheel.
So it's test time for some here. Keith Prince and Dominguez taking a big call for track position to see if they can hold up front. Dakota Long on fresh tires in 4th. Johnson, Huggins, Duran, Stewart, Kelleher, and pick your top 10 for the upcoming restart. There might be the chance of tire spin in theory if you think about it here. Even with 10 laps down, this could be a tricky one for these drivers on old tires to stay up here with already a couple tenths of fall off.
Oh, 100%. That was a rough 5 or 6 green flag laps. You're looking at Dominguez's best finish of only 15th at Darlington for this time slot. So if he can stay up here, if he can fall back 5-6 spots, still get a top 10, best finish of the broadcast time slot for him so far. If he can hang on to it, that was a big question.
So the 2021 Manitoba Karting Association Rookie of the Year is in control of the field. Can he get it timed up right for the restart zone? He's nearly speeding to it. Into the box. Green flag is out. Oh, and the outside line beat it. Jacob Prince, black flag, jumped the start.
Yeah, that was a very obvious black flag. Completely mistimed it. Forced Dakota Long to check up. Trouble for this outside. Dakota Long, though, to the bottom side, right behind Rodrigo Dominguez.
Right now, the 18 trying to figure out a way to let drivers go. Long already making his way through. And already the drivers on old tires blocking inside. Keith trying to block for his life up front. Dakota Long on freshies. Already high side. It's 3 wide in the heart of the field, trying to get around the drivers on old tires. They're bumping and banging as Pick makes contact.
Yeah, Dakota Long on the outside for the race lead. Outside Tobin Keith, and here comes Cody Keller, though, 3 wide for 5th. That's Justin Durand is outside as well as Jacob Prince falling back fast in the 18 truck.
He has to serve a black flag by next time by. Here comes the battle for the race lead. Keith on older rubber, 33-1 last time. It was a full 10th quicker for Long. He's able to pull it outside and make it work. Already Dominguez having Johnson get right on the spoiler, gets him loose for 3rd as well.
And Tobin Keith is doing a good job of hanging on. Actually led a couple laps there, so debut in the time or the broadcasted time slot, able to lead a couple laps here, still hang on to that 3rd spot. Cody Johnson now to his inside for 2nd.
A lot of close quarters contact now in the battle for 2nd. Johnson missed the bottom. Little tiny tap, able to clear on by. Here comes 3 wide again. Durand to the wall, making contact with the grass goes everyone. A slide for Dominguez. Kelleher back into traffic. Caution flag is out. It's a big one entering turn 1 as at least 4 or 5 drivers crash into the corner.
Yeah, this is definitely going to shake things up even more than it It already was shaken up. So we'll have to watch and see where that started. They were 2-3 wide coming off turn 4. And mainly Dominguez in that 13 truck.
Yeah, how about that slide, though, for Keller right back into the field?
Oh, yeah, it was a hard hit. I wonder if we can get on board with Jeff Maconi in a 14 truck. He was on the radio piping up about dogs. And I mean, he was instant disaster all around. Here he is running on board.
Yeah, just where do you go? Where do you go? You pick a lane and hope no one else crashes. And even with the hood flying through the car, remember, after half a second, it is phase-throughable. And already, attrition building in this one.
Yeah, number 4 machine Cody Keller starting inside top 10, and meatball flag for him, and a whole bunch of others: Cole Pock and Chase Stewart, Barrett Bishop, and Philip Jarzynski. All the meatball flags mandatory repairs. Hard hit there for the 22 truck. Curtis Bishop.
Here's Pocken. Right in his lap.
Talk about a jump scare.
Yeah, just stuck high, kept the foot in it, hoped there was no traffic, and unfortunately, 3 different trucks slid up there. First,
Yeah.
Bishop caught it at the last minute.
Yeah, also number 11, Shaquille O'Reilly did an absolute insane wreck points. He had the same idea as Cole Pock and hammer down and drive through it, except he actually was able to make it through it.
Yeah, you already had someone trying to serve the black. That was Prince back there. As
Man, that's one of the hardest hits I think I've seen on iRacing in a long time.
let's see what was being referred to from Shackle Ray if we can here, because the Corgi machine may have just used the luck of Corgis to survive despite near contact coming into the incident. Keeps his foot in it. He was the one who had the bumper fly through.
I don't think he ever lifted. That was great. That's the greatest thing I think I've ever seen.
So the Team Corgi machine able to survive the incident. That got him back to 8th after starting 19th in this race. One of the bigger incidents you'll see in a race like this here today. What a wild one here at America's Home for Racing. Tonight, with all the meatball flags that have popped up for at least half the field. So far tonight, turned to America's Home for attrition. 25 to go, coming to 24 to go. Dakota Lawn has led much of this time so far. Johnson keeping up front. Keith did a solid job, give him credit though. Despite the older tires, he's still playing a solid job keeping that truck up front.
Yeah, it still kept it clean. I mean, they were starting to fall back a little bit in that 15 team, and able to hang on a little bit with older tires. I'm still surprised he hasn't come down and taken tires, but he's ain't gone to this podium spot for now. He had a little bit of help with Dominguez and Prince, behind him and to his outside on that last restart, kind of held everyone up as they were falling through the field. And now they don't have that luxury. Everyone around him, behind him, in front of him is on that fresher rubber. So it'll be interesting to see how Tobin Keefe in the 15 truck handles the pressure now.
Also still up there is Durand. Garrett Pick's gone from 20th to 4th with all the craziness going on. So, our regular able to keep the survival going. We've seen great speed from Pick over the years. We'll see how he does, especially since apparently he's now in the Matthew Beeman driving school. I know that's a meme to one of his friends, but hey, it's driving schools are driving schools.
I think we all need to take a lesson out of the Cody Keller driving school there. That was the school of don't do it. And I mean, talk about mowing the grass. I mean, I think the groundskeeper are going to be sending Cody Keller an invoice after that one.
So, 23 coming to 22 to go. Looks like when we go back green, Kelleher officially out of the race. Pocken, Bishop, and Jarzynski amongst those with significant damage repairs. Lowry already has officially retired from the race. How do you play this restart? We already seen a lot of blocking and a lot of sends in 3 wide already.
Well, I don't think we're done wrecking, not by any means, especially as some guys start to move up through the field. They talk about those guys that didn't qualify. Benjamin Topper, Miles Morris, they started 22nd, 23rd, 3rd, and 2nd from last respectively. They're 10th and 11th. So we got guys that have worked their way up and guys that kind of played defense the whole race. But Dakota Long back out front, Cody Johnson his outside, and then they got Perrin Huggins, who was with this group and part of that championship battle we've been talking about. He's all the way down in 6th, and then Jonathan Evans is all the way down at 18th. Back on the lead lap, got some fresh rubber, still with a heavily damaged truck though.
Let's find out how this restart goes this time. Already, for reference, the people who stayed on old tires, black flag stayed on the lead lap because the whole field had that incident. Jonathan Evans, lucky dog, he's got damage still on the truck, but he's in 18th on the lead lap. Also amongst those who tried to roll the dice, Keith is still out at the front, and the last of those just was involved in the last incident. So let's find out how the JRS Racing Machine handles this restart. The battle for the championship taking some interesting turns here on S.O.F night, here on iRacing social media platforms and Maconi Entertainment. The 5 in control, Johnson alongside. Green flag's out, we're back to racing. Clean start, already Keith pushing up, trying to battle with Pick. Johnson already cleared a second.
And Tobin Keith trying to pick a fight with Garrett Pick and not quite able to make it stick, or is he on the bottom? Pick now using the momentum, trying to the 3rd spot, side by side, going into turn 3 for 3rd.
Still trying to make the old tires work is Keith. Pick on the newer rubber, able to make things stick a little bit better. Great defense, though, side by side yet again. You know who wants his spots back is Huggins, who lost 5 of them as a result of the last restart.
Aaron Huggins in that number 3 truck working the outside right behind Pick. He's in that red truck on your screen. You see him working the outside, ripping a lip. Now to the outside, Tobin Keith in the 15. Keith starting to fall a little bit.
Oh, Keith in particular starting to drift up in some of these corners. Huggins nearly clear. Already the top 4 already single filed out as a result of the shuffle. Oh, trying to hold on to the halfway mark. Now 20 laps down, 20 laps to go as everybody tries to find their way around the 15 truck.
Macho taking anger to the bottom of the ocean. Tobin Keith is falling and falling fast. Jeff Maconi next up the fight. Keith actually up the block. Maconi in the 14 truck. 03 on the screen, 14, and Sam Maconi to the bottom now, side by side through 3 and 4. That's 11. Shaquille Ray saw him avoid at last restart or last wreck carnage. Now he's going to slide in right behind Maconi.
Looks like he's trying to push the Maconi truck forward. Keith forced off the bottom. This is where we start to expect to see a slide back. Already 3/10 off the pace. O'Ray staying inside of Keith for the move. Already Maconi inside the 6th position. Interestingly enough, though, talking about Jeff, with all the races he ran, he's 23rd in points, believe it or not.
Yeah, you talk about the point system. You have a couple of drop weeks here and there, and there's got to be consistent. Jeff's, run a lot of the higher I-rating splits, and the broadcast of this time slot has been one of the better I-rating ranked races. And obviously, the more ranked the race is, the better points you're going to get. And it just hasn't had the best of luck in these higher ranked races. Although the best part about that battle there, I can see Keith starting to fall more and more. Shaquille Ray, who was side by side with him for better portion of a lap and a half, was audibly screaming on the mic of how tight the contact was between him and Tobin Keith.
You just seen, by the way, Garrett picked a second. Also, Maconi still trying to stay on the move, trying to battle with Durand, league racer that runs in various different truck series on the platform. Don't usually seem too much an official. Meanwhile, Benjamin Topper going 3 wide, the 15 with its biggest test yet. Jeffrey Martin wants to go on the outside. He's got some help from Jacob Prince.
Topper on the bottom, the 21 truck. He's got Martin to the outside of the 8. Clowns to the left, Jokers to the right, stuck in the middle with you. Tobin Keith gonna get to the bottom though. Jacob Prince, that we talked about him, restarted up front after being involved in that initial incident. And I guess he was taking a second incident, but stayed out, shot it better over that last time by, and came down, got some fresh rubber, and he's slowly but surely working his way back up through the field after starting inside the top 10.
So Keefe, after all the effort to keep up front before, the strategy now showing its true hand. It's very difficult from here on out for him unless he gets a caution flag, or is it the yellow flag? Even those on the strap before are now trying to take him near 3 wide again. Dominguez, who was the one who got very loose before for the last caution, making the move, is already up to the top 11 again with 14 to go this time.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Dominguez was out of it from that last track, but no, he's still in there hanging strong. So must have not had any hard contact. Looking actually inside the top 10, almost 1 spot shy of it. Jeffrey Martin holds the last spot. But look at Jeffrey Maconi, though, having one of the best runs this season outside the super speedways. Currently in that 6th spot.
For the lead, though, it's Garrett Pick to the inside. He builds up the run. Does Lawn let him have it? No. Lawn keeps his foot in it from the 3rd groove. Side by side for 3rd as well as Johnson and Huggins battle it out. Clear for the lead still is Lawn, but just barely.
Only 1 appearance from Garrett Pick this season, the broadcasted time slot. That was Dover where he won, looking for victory lane 2nd time this season for the broadcasted time slot. So far though, running 2nd right behind Dakota Long. Long has the outside, able to carry momentum down the straightaway. Build a little bit of buffer to Garrett Pick, but Pick right to the bottom.
Pick preferring to run right next to that blue line, trying to just avoid the paint. It can get slick once you touch the paint here at Charlotte, as many will talk about. Johnson looking for a setup behind him as well. Down to just 12 laps to go. How does Pick play this? Because it's near full throttle for those wondering. It's not full throttle, but you have to be able to save some tire to make a move going.
Now we're starting to get in the final stages, about the final 28-29% of this race. He's got Cody Johnson right behind him, so he can't save a whole lot, or else Cody Johnson and Karen Huggins are going to fight and take that spot from you. They will happily try to make a move on Dakota Long if they can, but Long right now is kind of have to have a white knuckle grip, and Garrett Pick, I think, is going to have to pick a strategy and stick with it. He's so far working the bottom, one of the only drivers in the top 5 working the bottom, and he's been making it work so far.
Looks like Johnson not liking the games on the crossovers anymore. He elects to go for 2nd himself. Johnson now hard to the bottom, quicker to the gas, and already to P2. Johnson started up at the front in the top 5, looking for the lead pretty soon. 10 laps to go, quarter distance left.
A little bit of bump drives, some help from Garrett Pick to the back bumper. Cody Johnson trying to shove him up there, go catch Dakota Long. Those two burning their tires off. We got actually driver coming out of the pits. That's Phil Brzezinski, 22 laps down in 22nd. At the rate they're going, he's actually going to pass a couple trucks. But battle for the lead. Cody Johnson working the middle and bottom lanes, making up time with Dakota Long in the corners.
Johnson takes a peek inside, gets the side draft. Near contact for the battle for 3rd. Johnson gets the better run for the lead. He looks to charge hard inside. He's been better on the inside this run. Way up the track this time is Lawn, all the way to the wall. Not able to clear yet is Cody Johnson. Lawn responds back with a pole for the backstretch.
Johnson's Long side by side. Johnson will have the inside advantage through 3 and 4, able to close up the gap just a little bit more as far as the side-by-side battle, but they're going to be dead nuts even coming off turn 4.
Side by side, a couple rows deep now, 3 in fact. That time by Lawn with the lead lap. Johnson trying to give him a squeeze up. No problems for Lawn this time, but now Huggins just about clear for 3rd. He might make this a 3-truck fight for the lead quickly. Contact behind him for 3rd. Still side by side for the race lead.
The pickoff fall back to 4th. Karen Huggins to 3rd, but Cody Johnson, Dakota Long still side by side to 3 and 4. Johnson on the bottom, Long up top, not able to clear each other. Johnson gets the closest he's been, almost slight contact coming off turn 4. We're in the final stages of this one. Anything's going to happen now.
Right now, the lap's ticking away to 7 to go. Johnson nearly clear. Lawn, can he get to the quarter panel? Keeps it side by side. Here comes Huggins. He chooses Johnson to help. Now gives him a shove for the back straight away. Johnson again with a lunge once more to the inside, coming to 6 laps to go. Looks like he's clear, and looks like he will slide up and fully clear Lawn.
I think y'all think Huggins here. That was a huge bump going into turn 3, allowed him to excel forward, steal the spot. But here comes Dakota Long once again on the outside, side by side once more. Johnson able to carry a little bit more momentum on the bottom of the racetrack, able to clear Long off of 2. He's going to seal the deal.
Now everyone up to the same line. How does Long get this lead back? He tries to stay high side. Huggins going diamond line. Where did Jacob Prince come from? He's all of a sudden in fourth.
I have no idea. We talked about him moving his way up through the field. He's going to join this battle for the lead, though, right behind Perrin Huggins to cut along. Perrin Huggins, though, now is trying to steal a second. Prince into the wall a little bit with the right rear. Johnson pulling away from Long and Huggins.
And that could get interesting. Side by side for second goes single file. But remember the crash. Prince, after the serve in the drive-through, pit for tires. And now, that means one thing. He's got the freshest tires on the racetrack, despite being only about 5-6 laps green. That might be the difference if the 18 can pass 3 trucks in 4 laps.
That's absolutely the difference. Has a handful of laps to get their field. So Zinski going to go to the aprons. They're going to put him one more lap down, but I think Jacob Prince, fresher tires, running the high line here, try and move around Dakota Long for third. Able to get side-by-side down the backstretch. They're going to be side-by-side for the lead almost. Perrin Huggins actually is side-by-side for the lead. Cody Johnson up by the wall. Huggins on the bottom.
Prince is up to third. Here comes the run for Johnson outside. Still defending on the squeeze from Huggins. Here comes the whole shot from Jacob Prince. Down to 3 laps to go. Here from Charlotte. Nowhere to go for the 18 truck. He chooses to push Johnson.
Johnson up by the wall, trying to get momentum off the corner. Not quite able to get to the right rear of Huggins. Huggins going to clear Johnson to the back bumper of Huggins. Johnson goes. Jacob Prince is right on Johnson's back bumper, and Dakota Long's falling back about 3 car lengths in fourth.
Johnson lets Prince go. Already to second, the 18. 2 laps to go. Cody Johnson to the bumper. Prince with the freshest tires in the field. Having to go from the very back, from a drive-through, and getting the luck of the caution to now having a chance to win with about a lap and 3/4 to go.
Trying to go from records to taking the checkers. He's only a couple truck lengths away from getting it. Lap and a half to go for Perrin Huggins, but Jacob Prince is coming and coming fast.
He's going to need to be perfect, though. Right now, Huggins with about 2 to 3 tenths up. Coming to the white flag this time by. Race is official. Final lap here from Charlotte, brought to you by Maconi Entertainment. Prince trying to wrap things up in the draft and hits the wall a second time in 5 laps.
That's going to be catastrophic. He had a great entry going until he smacked the wall in the right rear. Going to kill his momentum through the corner. Huggins pulling away a little bit, but Prince has the draft. Closing the gap. He might get there. I don't think he is. Send it on the bottom of Huggins. He is going to send it right to the back bumper, but he's going to come up a little shy.
He hits him, but a slide from Huggins, able to stick it. Perrin Huggins holds on from the center to take the win. Johnson retakes second.
Jacob Prince absolutely sent it on the last lap there. Not able to seal the deal and actually lose a second in the process. It's going to be the, oh man, Cody Johnson, though, just shy of getting his second one for the broadcasted time slot this season as well. But that's about it for second. I mean, it was barely a half tenth.
Jacob Prince absolutely sent it. If he wanted to, he could have sent him to the moon. It would have been a friendly move, though. And in turn, he sent it as much as he could to the inside, but it's Perrin Huggins who's able to come through for the victory, the pole sitter. Just what you predicted, just not the way you expected it to go.
I don't think I would have expected that to go any way as far as that regard. So Huggins definitely had a late race now, and no late race or post-race activities. That's Jonathan Evans congratulating Perrin Huggins. So these two have put on a great battle all year long, all season long, and they only got one more week to duke it out.
We'll take a step aside. We can come back. Post-race results and post-race coverage. You're watching coverage of the Maconi Fixed Series on iRacing social media platforms and Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to America's Home for Racing, where it was a mix of home of attrition and home of exciting finish. What a finish, to say the very least. Let's take a look at the InSim official results here tonight as Perrin Huggins picks up the W here at iRacing's virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Johnson and Prince round out the top 3. Dakota Lawn and Justin Duran finished up in top 5. Anderson, Pick, Maconi, Topper, and Shaq O'Ray rounds out your top 10 this evening from Charlotte.
The season high for a lot of these guys. Rodrigo Dominguez started it up front in the middle of the race due to a restart, falls back to 11th. Nice recovery for him. Jeffrey Martin in 12th. Miles Morris 13th. Tobin Keith played the strategy early on, stayed inside the top 10 for quite a bit, but still had one of his better runs this season in 14th. Adrian Harney in 15th. Curtis Bishop in 16th. Jonathan Evans, one of your points battle contenders in 17th. Chase Stewart 18th. Michael Sinzi is the first truck a lap down, coming in at 6th down to 19th. Then Cole Pock and Philip Sarzinski, Cody Keller, Barrett Bishop, and Justin Lowry, all multiple laps down to the damage.
That's all top to bottom at the running order. Again, InSim results official, pending any post-race reviews / protest of the iRacing system. So, we have one of the drivers already standing by. One of the drivers known for being one of the front runners in series like Thursday Night Thunder, able to throw the thunder on the newer tires to end off the race. Jacob, you went through the whole field to have a shot for the race win. Talk us through it as you had a shot for the W on the last lap. I believe he is muted.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize I was muted, but yeah, I kind of played a little bit of different strategy. Wanted to stay out there on that first stop. I figured we'd have had some more cautions after a little bit longer runs, but definitely the fastest truck on the track at the end there. I feel like just not quite enough time to get there. Looking back on it, I probably should have tried the bottom a couple of times on those last couple of laps, but it's all good. You know, it was a lot of fun driving my way up through the field like that, so I had a blast.
And how would you describe to be able to race around a track like this? It's in, what is the balance like to keep yourself going forward, but also not burn up the tires, and also, like we've seen early on, not spin it out?
Yeah, those first couple of laps on tires are pretty rough. I mean, you got to, me personally, I was having to pedal it over that bump in 3 and 4, and main thing is just trying not to slip the right rear. That way you don't burn it up quick. But it was a pretty tricky track. You know, that everything comes into it when it comes to who has a tire advantage. And then on the long run, you have to have somebody pushing you down the straightaway. I mean, there was about 4 or 5 laps there where I was on the bottom of 3rd and 4th, and I just couldn't get by them because I would get up even with them off the corner, and then they just push right back down and buy me down the straightaway. So there's a lot of factors playing in tonight, but it was a fun race. Really fun track. So
with that being said here, still one more week to go in the official schedule. Will we see you trying to go out again in this time slot? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm just now, I've never really ran a bunch of officials and stuff like that, but I just recently started getting into it and getting my rating up. So I'll be around now pretty much. So we'll see how it goes next week.
Jacob Prince coming away in the 3rd spot here tonight. We do have a race winner also standing alongside. He's with Braden Laster. It's Perrin Huggins who gets it done.
Perrin, you started on a pole, which makes it easy, but it definitely wasn't easy for you at all. Had to work your way through the field, had to hold off Cody Johnson, Dakota Long, and Jacob Prince on the final couple laps. Talk us through the race.
Yeah, I had, first I was leading there, but I lost it off of two almost, and fell back in third and got marred in dirty air. And it took me the whole race to finally somehow get hit the lead back with 3 to go. But what a race, dude! I thought I was done for after I messed up like that, man.
For sure. And then looking at the season as a whole, week 12, only one more week to go. That's Gateway next week, 1.25 miles track. But as far as the broadcasted time slot, you got 5 starts in the 7:15 Eastern time slot. You got 3 poles, and every single time you started on the pole, you have a win. So I picked it a win tonight, so I luckily I picked correctly. But talking through the season as a whole, as you're actually one of the drivers competing for a championship here come next week.
Yeah, hopefully, next week at that, Gateway, I can, get a, 4th win in the C Fixed, season, the broadcasted race, and, hopefully it's, enough to win it for me, but, I think, old Jonathan has it wrapped up, though.
It's definitely going to be a tight points race, drops included. Anybody want to thank en route to their victory tonight?
Thank you to Cody Johnson, Jacob and Dakota for racing, sending me clean up front there. Yeah, that's very respectful racing for a win, and that's how it should be.
100%. Well, congratulations on your win tonight. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again next week.
10-4, sounds good, buddy. Thank
you.
y'all.
That's Perrin Huggins coming away with the win tonight. We also have one more person to speak with. He finished top 10 in the race, Jeffrey Maconi. Hey, Jeff, you survived this race. How does it feel to finish top 10?
I survived a race. Yeah, I am very excited to actually have a good finish there. Charlotte's usually one of my weaker tracks, so my goal from the beginning was to just sort of survive. And I had about 3 massive wrecks all occur around me, and I felt like I was driving my butt off. And then I looked down and I had lost 2 positions from where I started, and I was like, all right, it's going to be one of those nights, but survived, so I'm happy with it.
Now, another big thing is tomorrow night is the finale for the first round for the eNASCAR qualifying iRacing series. You have some news to share involving the coverage, I believe.
Yes. So we are doing rounds 1 and 2 of Road to Pro this year. Through iRacing, we're working directly with them, similar with the C Fixed broadcast. So we are doing rounds 1 and 2. So with round 1, we just covered top split, and that was it. For round 2, we are going to be covering both of the races at the same time. One broadcast, one crew, all working together to make it happen, and we are going to have live coverage of both splits at the same time. So it's going to be picture-in-picture coverage. We'll be covering one race. Let's say one race is very exciting, lots of stuff going on. We'll have that as the main focus, and then in the bottom left, you'll be able to keep tabs on the other race that's going on. We're actually going to debut this tomorrow night, covering first split and third split. So first split will be on the iRacing, Twitch, and Facebook, same places it's always been. The third split will be on the Maconi Entertainment 2 Twitch channel, as well as the Maconi Setup Shop, Facebook, and Twitter. So that's going to be third split. FTN is covering second split. So we will have 2 races going on. In theory, we will show everyone that advances. Unless someone from fourth split has a really great run, we should have all 70 drivers covered that will end up advancing. So that's going to be for tomorrow night. And for round 2, we will have full coverage of both races at the same time and be able to swap between them. It is absolutely insane that we're able to pull this off. So huge shout out to the Maconi Entertainment crew. They've put in a ton of work figuring this all out, making it all happen, and bringing it to life. So tomorrow we will have 2 separate broadcasts going at once, one covering top split, one covering third split. You can watch second split on FTN. And then for Road to Pro, we will have both races covered at the same time on the main show. It's going to be very, very cool. I'm very excited for it.
Well, on that note, Jeff, thank you very much for the time, and thank you very much for informing those watching along some of the news for tomorrow night. We'll touch upon it once more tomorrow as we get ready for what should be a wild end to the first round for 2024. Thank you, Jeff.
Absolutely. Thank you guys as well, and great show as always.
That's Jeff Maconi coming away top 10 and unveiling the broadcast layout for tomorrow night and for round 2. In our words, if you like a certain zone that features a lot of the color red in terms of with football, well, you know what potentially could be on hand for round 2. Braden, your final thoughts on tonight?
I mean, you saw these guys hanging everything out on the line. We knew it was going to be tight coming in, like, looking at the points battle and the racing itself, but I don't think anyone expected as chaotic or controlled chaotic as that race was. And Perrin Huggins, I mean, it's hard to bet against him when he starts on the pole.
Especially when it comes to a race like this tonight where a lot can happen. Experience pays dividends. That's why some of the best are able to cut through the field and survive and be prepared for a lot of the chaos that can happen. Now, the next time out will be the season finale for our coverage for 2024 Season 2. That will be at Worldwide Technology Raceway, also known as Gateway, May the 29th, 2024, in terms of when that week gets its coverage going. Be sure to tune in on iRacing social media platforms and on Maconi Entertainment. On that note, it's time to say goodbye tonight. Thanks once again to the race sponsor, Maconi Setup Shop, the official setup shop of NASCAR, as well as to all our viewers for tuning in. Coming the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Braden Lester, with Nolan Rempel as our producer. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's action from America's Home for Racing. I hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Remember, that is tomorrow night here on iRacing social media platforms, 8 p.m. start time to see eNASCAR action for the qualifying series. Thanks to the entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.